Greetings to all. I stand before you. Lila, a child of Virginia, grew up in a tranquil landscape where tree-lined streets whispered secrets and long rows of houses stood like silent guardians of her memories. My early years were largely defined by the presence of my parents, shaping the very fabric of my childhood. My mother was a gentle soul, her warm smile greeting me each morning as she moved gracefully through her preparations. From dawn's first light to the shadows of night, breakfast lingered on. In the dim light of the small kitchen, she challenged my father, a man of few words yet immense responsibility, who toiled tirelessly to provide for our family. In a modest little house where the walls whispered secrets of warmth and affection, we thrived, enveloped in a cocoon of love. Every fragment of my memory shimmered with perfection, or so I believed. Join me on this journey by subscribing to my channel, and together we can uncover more captivating true stories that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Make sure to stay glued to this video until the very end, for this tale is bound to captivate you in ways you never imagined. But then at the tender age of 15, my world came crashing down around me. My mother slipped away after a sudden and unforeseen illness, leaving me in a whirlwind of confusion. The sensation of emptiness expanded within me, consuming every thought and moment. I witnessed my father descend into solitude within a home that had once resonated with joy. Though we still shared the same space, the warmth of our family had faded, leaving only shadows of what we once were. Each dawn I ventured to school, and with the setting sun I returned home. The kitchen remained unchanged, a familiar space filled with the aroma of simple meals that echoed the past. But my mother was gone, leaving only two of us at each meal. The chasm between my father and me widened, stretching far beyond the confines of our home, when I turned 18 and he chose to remarry. The revelation hit me like a thunderclap, a jolt of realization that echoed in the depths of my heart. I had always known, beneath the layers of doubt and fear, that he was worthy of joy once more. My new stepmother was a woman of kindness and gentleness, her presence a soothing balm in our lives. With her arrival came a son, Ethan, just a year my junior. Initially, an unsettling sensation washed over me, as if my entire existence had been flipped on its head. Once again, the tranquility I had once cherished slipped away, leaving chaos in its wake. At first, an unsettling tension hung in the air as I attempted to bridge the gap with my new younger brother, despite the fact that he had done nothing to warrant my unease. He remained silent, mirroring my own struggle to navigate the unfamiliar terrain of our evenings. The entire family would converge in the living room, my dad and stepmother nestled together, their voices weaving tales of work and dreams yet to unfold, while Ethan and I shared secretive glances, a silent understanding passing between us. Overwhelmed by a swirl of emotions, I found myself bowing my head, lost in thought. Family meals transformed into unexpected moments of connection, where we navigated the complexities of our relationships. Ethan, with his quiet support, often lent a hand with the food, a simple act that resonated deeply, carrying a weight far beyond its surface. He was a man of few words, his silence often heavy with unspoken thoughts, yet there were moments when his gaze would hold a lingering intensity, as if searching for something just beyond reach. I found myself questioning whether I was overreacting, or if it was just the innocent affection of a younger brother for his newly acquired older sister. Yet an undeniable tension hung in the air, a silent weight between us. Feelings that should have remained purely sisterly had twisted into something far more complicated, unspoken yet palpable, lurking just beneath the surface. There were moments throughout the day when my heart raced at his mere presence, and I found myself despising that sensation. I loathed the realization that I had begun to see him as more than just a brother. One night I heard a faint light. Footsteps echoed in the hallway, and as Ethan slipped into my room, a familiar routine unfolded. We would exchange fleeting words before he retreated to his own space, but this time, an unspoken tension hung in the air as he lingered, defying the usual brevity of our encounters. His gaze lingered longer than usual, probing into mine as if he were desperate to share a hidden truth. Doubt gnawed at me, leaving me at a loss for words. The air around us crackled with tension, heavy and electric. The silence lingered, an oppressive weight in the air, and before I could gather my thoughts, it enveloped me completely. As I nodded, a subtle invitation lingered in the air, urging him to remain a while longer. We sat enveloped in darkness, Two strangers bound by an unspoken connection that felt both intimate and mysterious. To be truthful, I had a strong fondness for Ethan. He possessed a striking allure that instantly captivated me. At times, a flicker of guilt would cross my mind, a whisper reminding me that he was my brother in name. Yet, those thoughts were swiftly drowned out by the cold logic of our shared existence. We inhabited the same house, but our lives were divided, my brother and I on the second floor, each locked away in our own rooms, while my father and stepmother roamed the first floor, blissfully unaware of the chasm that lay between us. This arrangement often spiraled into moments thick with tension and discomfort. Ethan and I found ourselves standing at the crossroads of our lives, each moment heavy with the weight of choices yet to be made. As a college freshman, I found myself navigating the uncharted waters of Lila, while he, a senior in high school, was consumed by the looming pressure of exams that weighed heavily on us both. A fresh cadence of existence unfolds. Yet, the air crackled with unspoken words during those hushed evenings that followed the school day. We would huddle together on the sofa in the dimly lit living room, the world outside fading away. The flickering glow of the TV cast shadows around us, amplifying the weight of our silence as we grappled with the elusive words that hung in the air. The emotions swirling between us were anything but clear, defying the ordinary bonds of siblinghood. A sudden clarity washed over me. I truly liked him. Beyond the warmth of familial love, this revelation left me in a state of bewilderment. Yet I couldn't shake the feeling that my heart thundered in my chest every time Ethan appeared before me. It was a tranquil evening, seemingly ordinary, when a chilling realization struck me. This night would not conclude as it had for my parents. They had embarked on a trip, leaving Ethan and me alone in the house for the next 5 days. At first, we believed it would be an opportunity to escape the watchful eyes of adults and unwind in freedom. That night, we settled into the living room, the flickering screen casting shadows around us as a romantic movie played. One neither of us truly cared for, just a way to pass the time. I had laid out an assortment of snacks, dried squid, fruits, and a few cans of soda, the remnants of a whirlwind week swirling in the air like the town wind outside. As the screen flickered to life, the story unfolded before eager eyes. We chatted innocently, our laughter echoing through the stillness of the house, when suddenly an unexpected scene unfolded before us. A couple locked in a passionate embrace, their reasons shrouded in mystery. Silence enveloped us. The laughter dwindled, leaving a heavy silence that hung thickly in the air between us. Unspoken words hung in the air as I felt Ethan's intense gaze upon me. A warm sensation coursed through my body, igniting my senses while I sat there, gripping my soda can in a desperate attempt to steady my racing heart. In an instant, Ethan wrapped his arms around me, catching me off guard. His movements surged with a fierce intensity, catching everyone off guard and proving to be utterly captivating. His kisses were urgent, a tempest of emotions that had long been buried, now erupting with fervor. My heart raced, caught in a whirlwind of turmoil, yet my body betrayed me, responding with an undeniable heat. In that moment, in the shadowy stillness of the room, we had crossed the line that divided sibling affection from something far more intense. That night morphed from an ordinary evening into an extraordinary tale waiting to unfold. It was a pivotal moment, a shift that I sensed would transform everything for the rest of that night. Ethan and I were bound together, shattering all barriers. Our words were few, yet every moment unfolded instinctively, a culmination of feelings long buried. The intimacy we once shared began to wane, giving way to a torrent of emotions that surged beyond our grasp. The next morning is etched in my mind, the soft sunlight streaming through the curtains, casting a warm glow over the room. I lay beside Ethan, in what was meant to be my tranquil sanctuary, yet everything felt charged with an unspoken tension. Everything around me remained the same. The room was quiet, the light warm, but something deep within me had irrevocably shifted as we exchanged glances. In the silence between us, a few exchanged glances spoke volumes, hinting at an unspoken truth. Our lives were irrevocably altered. As the days unfolded, my father and stepmother ventured further into their travels, leaving us to savor the fleeting moments together. The air was thick with a newfound intimacy, where awkwardness faded away, replaced by a complex yet soothing familiarity that bound us closer than ever before. We existed in a world of our own, like a young couple deeply in love, blissfully unaware of the prying eyes that surrounded us. Meals morphed from lively family gatherings into hushed, intimate moments shared solely between Ethan and me. Each night we watched together. As the flickering images on the screen danced before us, we found solace in the shared warmth of our bed, allowing the world outside to fade away. In those moments I surrendered to the illusion, choosing to overlook the truth that Ethan and I were merely siblings in name, bound by something far more complex. We lived as a blissful couple, lost in our own world, untouched by the chaos beyond our bubble. At last, the day came when my parents stepped back through the door, and in an instant, the world around me shifted back to its familiar rhythm. Ethan and I slipped back into our familiar roles as siblings, masking the truth beneath a veneer of normalcy, as if every intimate moment we had shared was nothing more than a fleeting dream, lost to the shadows of our minds. My parents, blissfully unaware, laughed and reminisced about their travels, while Ethan and I shared furtive glances, acutely aware that our secret was a fragile thread that must not unravel. In the months that followed, we wove our hidden relationship into the fabric of our lives, stealing moments together whenever the world allowed. Those stolen evenings, charged with an electric passion, became our cherished routine, a dance of shadows and whispers that only we could understand. As night fell and my parents settled into their early slumber or ventured out, Ethan would quietly slip into my room. In those stolen moments we would hold each other tightly, erasing the invisible walls that separated us by day. By daylight we donned the masks of normalcy, sharing family meals with practiced ease, while beneath the surface, our eyes would meet in fleeting glances, charged with unspoken secrets. The hidden tension enveloped me, leaving me breathless, while guilt gnawed at my conscience. Yet, it was not powerful enough to compel me to turn away. Each night I slipped deeper into the shadows of my secret life with Ethan, a familiarity that both comforted and terrified me. I realized I was ensnared, unable to break free from this hidden existence. Determined to regain control, I quietly started taking birth control pills, careful to keep my actions hidden from prying eyes. I dreaded the potential consequences of our relationship, yet instead of stopping, I chose to maintain control. About a year later, Ethan graduated and moved to a new city for college. When he left, I knew our relationship would inevitably change, even if I didn't want to admit it. The distance made things harder. No more secret nights, no more quiet moments shared. The physical separation forced us to pause our relationship, though I often felt nostalgic for our past. After graduating, I sought a new path for myself. I applied for a job as an office worker at a digital company. The position was nothing extraordinary, but it offered me stability, a respite from the emotional turmoil I had experienced. That's when he met him, the man who would change my life forever. He owned a successful hair salon in the city, and exuded calmness, confidence, and charm. From our first meeting, I was struck by his strength and kindness. He was unlike anyone I had ever known. Every story he shared, every glance he offered made me feel safe, something I'd long yearned for. We fell in love quickly. Everything unfolded naturally, as if we were destined to find one another. Before long, we were married, beginning the family life I had always dreamed of. Now we have a child together, and life feels more complete than ever. My days with him and our child helped me temporarily forget the painful memories of the past, although they occasionally resurfaced during moments of weakness. In the depths of my heart, I sensed I had discovered a new sanctuary, a man deserving of love and reverence. Yet, in the shadows of my mind, the echoes of Ethan and those clandestine days clung stubbornly, refusing to dissolve into the past. Questions swirled in my mind like a tempest, haunting me with the possibility of forgetting. Now, with a family to shield, my priorities have shifted, yet an unsettling guilt gnaws at me. My husband, a remarkable man, showers me with unwavering love and tenderness, but each time our gazes meet, a weight settles in my chest. It's as if I'm concealing a fragment of my past, one he has every right to uncover. The struggle between my loyalty to him and the shadows of my history creates a tension that threatens to unravel everything I hold dear. I grapple with the question of whether I should tell him about my past with Ethan. The thought keeps me awake at night, torn between revealing the truth and keeping the secret forever. I fear that if I can confess, he might never look at me the same way again. Everything we have built, the little family I cherish, could crumble due to my admission. On the other hand, living with this secret feels like a burden weighing me down each day. It makes me feel unworthy of the love he has for me. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I stand at a crossroads, uncertain which path is the right one. Perhaps when you hear my story, you will judge me for hurting many people, and for the poor decisions I made in the past. But I can only ask you, if you were in my situation, what would you do? Would you choose to confess the truth knowing it might shatter everything? Or would you choose silence, letting the past sink deep into your memory, hoping it never returns to harm those you love? I hope to receive your advice in the comment section below. If you were in my shoes, what would you choose? Should I share everything and face the consequences? Or should I keep this secret to safeguard what I have? I appreciate any advice, sympathy, or criticism, because truly I find myself at a crossroads, uncertain of the right path forward.